Have you got yourself one of these sweet Super 73 machines and thought, how can I make this thing more badass? Well, I did too. That's why I went to thrillseekers.com and I got me one of these custom seat covers. Today I'm going to show you how to put it on, so let's get it on. Alright, the first thing that we're going to do is take a small Phillips screwdriver to remove the screws holding the seat into place onto the frame. Alright, now we're going to pull these back two screws out. One there. You're able to lift the seat up and off of the frame, just like that. Now we're going to use this flathead screwdriver to pop this old seat cover off. Now that we got all these staples out, time to pop that old smelly seat cover off, slide it to the side. So we're going to set the seat cover over the seat, and they're meant to fit snug, so you'll have to pull just a little bit and work the fabric up around the front piece like this. You'll have a little bit of extra material here. That's for stapling down. And we're going to pull it around to the back and do the same thing. Pull that material up and around the seat base, and you'll have some material here to start stapling. Once you get it centered on the seat and lined up how you like it, go ahead and grab your staple gun, work as much material to the front center as you can. Now shoot one staple right there in the front and center. That should lock that in. Now flip it around to the back. I like to center the back piece here. Push as much fabric so it's nice and snug but not too tight. Get some material up under here. We're going to flip the seat over. Again, make sure you're centered. The Super 73s kind of make it easy for you. They have these two dots in the center. Flip it over, grab your staple gun, push firm, blast the staple in back there. Now that you have the front and the back lined up and centered, we're going to work our way down the sides. So I start in the middle and pull evenly to both sides so that your seams are centered on top of your seat. We're going to flip this thing over, grab with your thumb and your index finger, hold it with your other hand. We're going to slide the staple gun in there and drop. Pause right there. Sorry, we got disrupted by a Harley man, but we were putting some staples in the side. You can put one or two on each side to get started. I'm going to go two just to secure this side. Take the material, push the extra material around the side. Again, sometimes you gotta stretch that gripper fabric just a little bit to wrap it around. Hold it secure. Two staples in that side. Now that we have those in there, it's time to just fill in the blanks every inch or so. As we're working our way up, we're going to work out the wrinkles too. That way your seat cover is nice and pretty as can be. I like to go about two staples on each side and then flip and do the other side. That way, if you find yourself getting a little bit off track on center, you can kind of work the material one way or another to straighten back out. Now we're almost up to the very front of the seat cover now. And now we're going to put these last couple of staples in the front here. In the front and the back sections, you'll find yourself putting a couple extra staples in closer together because that's where the seat cover comes around and it'll want to create little creases. So add a couple staples, you'll take that away. You'll notice these two front holes. We'll have to trim this material later with a razor blade so that your screws can go back in to mount that seat. All right, now that we've got the front half finished up, we're going to go ahead and line up the back half and start pulling some material around the edges. one side at a time. Use your thumb or your palms for this. Push it around. As you're pushing, just pull tight around the edges. And then pull the extra fabric that we give you and push with your staple gun at the same time to get that nice and tight around these corners back here. Now we've got this thing fully stapled on, looking beautiful. And now it's time to trim off this extra fabric on the underside.
Careful, don't cut yourself.
You cut as close to that staple line as you can get it, especially in the back here, because there are two little screw holes that we got to use to put the seat back on. Cut carefully, very carefully. Whee! Let's put it back on. Kickflip. Let's put this thing on. Push down on the front of the seat while you're screwing that in. And you'll feel it start to get tight. Don't over tighten it. If your seat's flexing just a little bit or sitting up like this, it's all right. Just use your hand to pull it down here and we'll get these screws put in. Get the first one nice and snug. And grab our other screw. And now you're looking good and ready to rip. Whoa.